Hey guys, Zako Otaku here, and I'm going to talk about beer. If you've ever been to Japan, you might have noticed that there's a lot of variety coming out of 4 different beer companies here in Japan. There's Kirin, Asahi, Suntory, and Sapporo. And they seem to make almost every beer that you can buy in Japan. Even some of the craft-looking beers are actually usually from one of these companies. And in fact, a lot of them manufacture non-alcoholic beers, which is kind of what I'd like to cover today in particular. Also, you might have heard, or maybe you've even seen, the word happoshu, or the third beer. And this is a low malt alcoholic beverage that tastes like beer, but is generally cheaper, and I guess kind of lower in quality, although some people generally prefer the taste. It's basically, the malt level is lower because here in Japan, the tax for alcoholic beverages isn't necessarily based on the alcohol, but rather based on the malt content. So these third beer or happoshu use this kind of workaround to make malt-free or malt light or 70% malt alcoholic beverages that taste like beer but aren't actually beer. So we'll also try one of those today and compare a real beer, a happoshu or fake beer, and a couple of non-alcoholic beers as well, just for reference. So first off, we have Asahi. I don't know if that's focusing, I hope it is. So this is the most popular beer in Japan, or at least it was last time I checked. And this is the new pull cup version, which looks like this. And instead of just a small tab that you drink from, apparently this rips off the whole top to give a more foamy, fresh beer, as they say in Japan, nama beer, which means draft beer version. So that's what this is. So we're going to try this for context, and then we're going to compare it to some of these other beverages. When I bought this, it was in the fridge, and that was only a few minutes ago, and it's already stopped being cold, which I don't know if that's because it's really new, or it's just, I don't know. It's lost its quality, but it has a sign here that says somewhere between 12 and 8 degrees Celsius, and then it says something about, I don't know, 4 and 8, and then 12. I don't know if that means if it's above 12 degrees, it'll explode. I don't know what's going on this label. Hopefully, this doesn't blow up in my face. Let's find out. So, whoa! Oh my god. Yep. Well, that was really terrible. So I reckon half the can just exploded on me. Now I've had some frothy boys, but wow, that is insane. This is a dangerous can of beer. I would not recommend getting this. I don't know if it's because it was in my backpack, but I've never had that happen with a beer before. Wow. I don't really even like Asahi, and this is not changing my mind very much about Asahi. God. Okay, well, taste test. Got mostly foam on my nose. Yeah, like all I can smell around me is beer now. Like, I'm gonna have to mop this floor. God damn it. It tastes like beer, it's fine. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Asahi anyway. This is fine. It's fine. Most of the can got on my body, but that's fine. Well, all right, let's try my favorite 70% malt happoshu. That's the fake beer that, yeah, please don't explode. Come on. Yeah, this is only 70% malt, as it says here, I believe, which means that it's lower in cost. I guess. I think this was a little bit cheaper. I don't think I've ever tried this before. Let's see if it tastes like beer, or if it tastes like fake beer. See, that's the thing about the little lids, is you can kind of give it a small pull, let the air come out, and, you know, see what happens. With that, I guess it's just a big, you know, wow. Anyway, I'll get over it. Okay, already I can see from the color, even looking into the can, this doesn't look like beer, but Anyway, there it is, green label. Yeah, it doesn't really... like if I just drank this on its own, maybe I would convince myself that it tastes like beer. But given that I just had a sip of what isn't a very great beer to begin with, this tastes nasty. Now, I should preface, I'm not going to be drinking the whole cans, and you shouldn't either if you're going to do this taste test comparison. Just a little bit, try it. I don't know, chuck it out, give it to one of your friends. I don't know. I'm probably going to chuck these out. The Asahi maybe I'll drink, but yeah. But now we can move on to the non-alcoholic drinks, and you can drink as much of those as you like, so long as you're of drinking age, okay? I don't want anybody watching this who's under drinking age drinking alcohol. You should be drinking age before you try any of these, even the non-alcoholic beverages. All right. So this is the non-alcoholic version of Asahi's beer. And I reckon it's pretty good from what I remember. Again, I'm going to probably have a sip of the Asahi beer and kind of compare. So let's pop this open. And this is the real thing. This is the fake one. You know, I think I prefer this. It's not as malty, but on the same level, it's not as heavy either. It's almost like a malt and hop flavored soda, you know? It's not bad. It's if you're expecting a beer taste, you're going to be disappointed. But if you're just going for something that's light that you want to drink, you know, on a summer day, or you want to enjoy when it's hot especially, this hits the spot. Maybe I've been drinking too much non-alcoholic beer, but this I do not mind. So I should probably try to explain why non-alcoholic beer is so popular here in Japan. There's a couple of reasons that I think that it is. One of them is that drinking culture, especially work drinking culture, is quite big here. You're kind of expected, if you work for a big company, to go to these things called nomikai, which is kind of like a work drinking party. Of course, these days, in this state of affairs as things are, it's not happening, but usually that's what was kind of the go-to. Also, a lot of these non-alcoholic beers are 0 calories. So if people are watching their weight, but they want to enjoy the taste of something a little bit more grown up than soda, this is kind of the best option for a lot of people. Of course, you know, people who have any kind of difficulty drinking alcohol, a lot of people are allergic to alcohol here in Japan. So, you know, you've got these working parties. Fitting in is a really important thing here in Japan. So having something that looks like alcohol, that smells like alcohol, that has the taste of something alcoholic, you know, you're not gonna have any difficulty at a drinking party. So these non-alcoholic beers are quite important for people. But like I said, if you're just watching your figure, like I drink these things, you know, when I'm not wanting to drink, but I don't want soda either, you know, like water's boring, but this is 0 calorie as well, and it tastes good. So, you know, you've got that option available to you if you're drinking age. Now, this one I think is the least beer tasting beer of the 0 alcohol ones. It's 0 calorie, it's 0 alcohol. It more tastes like those hop flavored sodas that I've seen some beer companies make. That's kind of what this is. There is a maltiness to it, but it's very light. It is mostly a hop soda. It's nice, I don't mind it, but it's probably the furthest removed from beer as far as the non-alcoholic beers go. But I'm gonna compare again. I'm gonna have a taste and let you guys know. Yeah, it's very bright. It's almost fruity in taste. There's very little malt left over. It's almost entirely just this fruity hop taste. Yeah, like if you served this to me and you didn't tell me this was a non-alcoholic beer, I might not even know that that's what this was. You know, you could say that this is like a lime soda and I'd probably believe you. compared with the Asahi Dry Zero. There's definitely a more malty undertone going on here. It's still quite bright and it's quite light, but it tastes more like beer. And then back to the OG. And that's beer, of course. Okay, this one is probably my favorite of the zero alcohol beers, just by virtue of the fact that I think it emulates the taste the best out of the zero alcohol beers. Anyway, it's pretty nice. It's Kirin, which I find Kirin makes quite a lot of non-alcoholic beverages, and all of them are kind of top tier in my opinion. This is one that if I was going out drinking, but I didn't want to drink, I would go for this. It's definitely the maltiest of the three. Yeah. It's almost vanilla soda tasting. Yeah, it's very drinkable. This is definitely the nicest, in my opinion, anyway. Again, it doesn't quite hit that spot. None of these non-alcoholic beers quite hit that spot that real beer does. Like if I were to compare, I'm just gonna grab the real one. It's really close though. Wow, it is quite good. Yeah, this one, I can see why this is quite popular. Even though the Asahi Zero Alcohol is the most popular, I have been to a few izakayas where this is on the menu, and I get why. This is quite good. It's the least soda-y, if that makes sense. It's the one that tastes the least like a soda emulating beer. It just tastes like beer. That being said, we have the mystery beer. This is the one that just came out. It's called Asahi Beery, and that's kind of what I was leading to in this video. It's a brand new low alcohol beer. It's 0.5% alcohol. So it's technically still beer. It's been fermented, but it's very low alcohol. So you couldn't categorize it in the same as all of these non-alcoholic kind of beer tasting beverages that I've been trying. Here it is, Asahi Beery. I don't think the name is very good. Beery kind of reminds me of like rummy, which is like an alcoholic person, or like berry, which it's not, it's beer. So I'm not super keen on the name, but the taste is good. So, and here it is. Woo. Yeah, it's almost exactly the same taste as the actual beer. There's this kind of fermented heaviness to the drink that you just don't get with these non-alcoholic drinks, that you don't even get with the happoshu. This doesn't have that kind of malty, kind of alcoholic, kind of fermented taste to it either. Yeah, but that's really disgusting. That's beer. I don't know if it's warm or because it exploded on me, but I think I prefer this to the real beer, the full alcohol 5% beer. This is probably the nicest tasting out of the whole lot. I could drink this for days. Unfortunately, it still has 0.5% alcohol in it, so I won't be drinking it for days, but I could, and that's the important point. It's just lovely. So yeah, I guess if you're in Japan and you're wondering, like, what you should drink, if it says Asahi Super Dry, Kirin Ichiban, Sapporo just with the Sapporo logo, or Suntory Premium Malts, those are the real beers. Anything else that looks any way different to those four main beers, which I'll probably display in a picture on the screen, is either haposhu or low alcohol. In fact, one of the indicators is if it says any percentage on the can, like 70%, or in this case, 0.5%, or 3 zeros across the board, like in this one, that's usually a pretty good indicator that something's going on. Either it's low alcohol, or it's low calorie, or it's haposhu, or something like that. And honestly, if you're not game to try some of these weirder drinks, just avoid anything that has a percent or like a decimal point on it. That being said, if you're in Japan and you've got the chance, why not try something a little bit different? Try a low alcohol beverage. Maybe, take it easy one of the nights that you're here in Tokyo. You don't have to party hard every night that you're in Japan. So I would recommend maybe going for one of these, like the Kirin Zero Ichi. That's quite a good one for, when you go to an izakaya and you want to fit in, but you don't want to get drunk, That being said, you do you. If you want to drink, no judgment. But it's just an idea to keep in, your back pocket.